Hello and welcome to another episode of the Flophouse Mini. That's what we call our alternate week episodes, where we do something a little bit different than watching a bad movie and talking about it. And that's right, today we're doing something a little different but related. This is an episode of your favorite movie podcast that's all about locations, The Map House. That's right, welcome to The Map House. I'm your host, Elliott Kalin, and joining me are my regular special guests, Dan McCoy and Stuart Wellington. They'll say hi in a minute, but first, let's hit that theme song. Map House, in the middle of your ears, Map House. What you're listening to right here, Map House. Talking places in the films, Map House. Fire ceramics in a kiln, Map House. We love to talk movie locations, Map House. Films are the cheapest of vacations.
Still going, huh?
Map House. Well, I could go long. Map House says to the cast that we do the things with the stuff, and I didn't know it. Couldn't think of lyrics for the part in the song where he talks really fast. Map House is brought to you, of course, by Hodor's Travel Guide, the only travel guide endorsed by the simple-minded stable boys of Winterfell, and Randy McNasty, America's most trusted name in maps for perverts. Now, Dan, Stuart, thanks so much for joining us today on Map House. How are you feeling today, and where are you coming from?
I feel great now that I heard those two jokes about travel guides. I'm coming from my home, Brooklyn.
Yeah, since this is the Map House, what's the address here, Dan?
It's 123 Fake Street in
Anytown,
New York.
USA?
Anytown, Brooklyn, USA. So Map House is, of course, like I said, the movie podcast about locations. And today's episode of the Map House is going to be all about cities as characters in movies. Now, I feel like the last couple of movies that got on the Flophouse were really specific about their locations. We watched Pool Man, in which Los Angeles felt like a character in the story.
Yeah.
And we watched Captain America Brave New World, in which Washington, D.C. actually had more personality than any of the human characters in the movie.
Yeah.
So today I wanted to talk about cities that feel like characters. And there's a bunch of famous cities, and there are a lot of movies. And I bet if I named them, you guys could tell me what kinds of characters they've been in the movies, or how you think of them as a character in a story. What, you guys want to start off doing that, a little brain exercise?
Sure,
yeah.
I think I understand.
Okay, sure. So like, for instance, New York. What kind of character is New York in the movies?
Brash, bold. It's where you go to succeed. It represents glamour and glitz and an urban life.
And an endless labyrinth of late-night delights and terrors.
Oh, very well put. Very well put. Now, perhaps you might say similar things, but I don't know. What about Paris? What kind of character is Paris in the movies?
It's the city of lights. It's the city of romance. It's it represents.
It's a little exotic.
Yeah, sophistication. Yeah.
Someone call it a labyrinth of late-night delights.
Yeah, sure.
Depending.
I could call it that as well.
Sometimes the Seine is full of sharks, but Paris, it's mostly a romantic place. You can already hear the accordion music and the crunching on long bread, right? What about London, though? What if when London's a character in the the is London
it's
like?
Foggy. It's rainy.
Jack the Ripper's probably going around doing something nasty.
Not something good. He's not giving candy to children and helping elderly people across the street. That's for sure. That's true.
I mean, modern London is a little harder to classify, I think. But
you're saying
a lot of high street shops.
That wasn't an up-to-date London idea, the Jack the Ripper
that
one?
was a bit of more of a Victorian vision of London.
Okay. And what about Miami? What's Miami like when it's a character in the movies?
Fast cars.
Yeah, full of drug dealers.
Butts wearing swimsuits.
Clubs. Butts going to clubs.
What else are the butts doing in Miami these days? Are they sitting in cars, going to clubs? What else are they doing?
Yeah, they're in cars with comedians getting coffee.
Interesting.
That's what you think of as Miami. Okay, interesting.
I don't know. It's just a thing.
And so what about Tokyo? When you think of Tokyo as a character in movies?
Not just word association.
Yeah.
Overwhelming. There's
kind of high tech, right?
Yeah.
Crowds.
Constant
umbrellas.
Danger from Yakuza.
Yeah.
And every now and then a giant monster. Yeah, sure.
Neon lights.
Neon lights, yeah. And finally, Rio de Janeiro. You shouldn't have used up butts for Miami.
More butts. Extra butts. Bigger butts. Carnival filled with butts.
Talking birds.
Yeah, and what's the butt situation with those talking birds?
They're interested but confused.
Okay. So those are big cities. Those are some of the biggest cities in the world, and there are a lot of movies set there, and it's a very clear idea. Each one of those, you guys had a very clear idea of what the character of that city is like. But I was thinking, there's a lot of smaller cities that don't get as much attention from the movies. There are dozens, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of movies about New York and Los Angeles. There's only one movie about Columbus, Indiana. It's called Columbus. I highly recommend it. It's a very good movie, but it doesn't give us a great idea of what the gestalt character of Columbus is. I mean, we know it has a lot of architectural landmarks because that's part of what the movie is about, but we don't have as much of a sense of it from the movies. And I started thinking, there's so many small cities that don't get movie attention, but if they did, and some of the movies have been shot in, what's the character that they should have? So I took a look at the U.S. News and World Report list of the 250 best places to live in the United States, and I thought, let's take a look at them and use our movie brains to figure out what kind of character these cities would be in a movie to give Hollywood a head start. Now, we're going to go through all 250, so I hope you guys are ready. No, I'm just kidding. We'll go through about 9 of them. But I thought, let's start with the number 1 city on the list. Are you guys ready to use your movie imaginations, your knowledge of movies, and your creativity to figure out what is the character of this city? And I can give you some facts about the city, but I mostly want us to just say, what's the feel? What does this feel like? Okay.
Yeah.
So number 1 on the list, of course, is Johns Creek, Georgia. Population 78,937. According to U.S. News and World Report, this is the best place to live in the United States. Some things I can tell you about it. It has a humid subtropical climate. It has the metro Atlanta area's only fully professional symphony orchestra, the Johns Creek Symphony Orchestra. There's the annual food festival, the Taste of Johns Creek. There's 6 golf courses. According to Wikipedia, this is a quote from Wikipedia, it is one of the most culturally diverse cities in the state and nation, representing many countries and cultures from around the world. So Johns Creek, Georgia, population less than 80,000, one of the most culturally diverse cities in America and perhaps the world. They've had a fire department since 2008. And there are movies that have been shot there that include Parental Guidance, starring Billy Crystal, and Strip Club Massacre, I assume not starring Billy Crystal. So, guys,
I'm glad you hedged your bets on that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess.
Sorry, I'm just adding that one to my watch list on Letterboxd.
Yeah, so Johns Creek, Georgia, what kind of character would the city be in a movie?
I would say it feels like it would be like a gentrified, like up and coming suburbs with a modest but bustling downtown area.
Okay, so how does that represent in a movie? What kind of story would you tell? How would the city play into that story?
Maybe there's originally you said humid.
Yeah, humid subtropical climate. Yeah,
my mind went to like
thriller immediately.
Some sort of maybe a sweaty noir. I was thinking like a Southern Gothic, which could have like an overlap. But then everything you said made it sound very cosmopolitan. So maybe
they have a huge food festival. It's one of the most diverse cities in America, according to Wikipedia. Yeah,
maybe the way to do it is have one of those the seedy underbelly sorts of things.
Yeah. It wasn't shot there, but I keep imagining, what was that movie with Ben Affleck where he was breeding snails and he killed Tracy Letts?
Deep Water.
Deep Water, was that it? Yeah. Is it that kind of thing?
Sexy snails.
Sexy snails.
Sexy snails, yeah. So Johns Creek, you're imagining, is kind of like it's like almost like a Blue Velvet type place where there's like a seedy criminal underbelly underneath. Maybe it's involved with the Taste of Johns Creek annual food festival. I don't know. But okay,
they're either that or like you have 2 rivals at the food festival that are like a mix of like a keeping up with the Joneses, but also like an element of trying to defeat their rival at the food festival.
Right, or it could be like a Little Italy situation where it's a romance set against the backdrop of the food festival.
I forgot about that movie that we did on the podcast about the competing Canadian pizza places, right?
Yep.
So Johns Creek, Georgia, you can go eat. Hollywood, you can go one of 2 ways with it. It's either like an up-and-coming gentrifying suburb that has a seedy criminal underbelly, or it's a place where love can come even between the children of competing food merchants at the food festival. Let's slip a little bit farther down the list for our next city. You guys did a great job. Let's go to number 4 on the list. This is Fishers, Indiana. Population 103,711. Now, Stuart, you're an Indiana boy. Are you familiar with this town?
I'm a Hoosier. No, where is this? Is this Indianapolis suburb?
It is a suburb of Indianapolis. It has a humid
Naptown.
continental climate. This is a humid but continental climate.
Continental.
It's a suburb of Indianapolis.
Is this on the north side or south side? Where is this?
I don't know. It was a town until 2015 when it officially transitioned to be a city. Previously, in 1998, voters had defeated a referendum to become a city. So there's a little bit of a controversial history about whether it's a town or city.
What's the name of this joint?
It's called Fishers, Indiana. Home ownership rate 81.9%. And you may know this already, Stuart. It's home of the Indy Fuel minor league hockey team and the Hoosier State Instigators basketball team. So, guys,
yeah. So this is on the north side of Indianapolis. It's just east of Carmel, which is a very affluent suburb.
I think you mean Caramel.
Nope. They removed the A.
Oh, okay.
Don't need it.
It's strange to think they could afford it if it's affluent.
Also, if I were driving from Indianapolis, aka Naptown, to my hometown, Fort Wayne, Indiana, I would drive through Fishers.
Wow.
Along Interstate 69. So I feel like a real connection.
So we've heard of flyover country. This is drive-through city.
Yep.
You think you've ever taken that? You think you've driven through Fishers?
I'm sure I've driven through it.
So,
no question.
So let's use that personal experience, this authentic personal experience. Fishers, Indiana, what kind of character is it in a movie?
Seems boring.
Yeah, I'm not a Hoosier, but I'm from one state over, Illinois, small town living in Illinois. And
again, this is not a small town. There's 103,000 people live in the city. It's a city that's a suburb of a bigger city. Yeah,
I'm guessing there are multiple very good malls. Cheesecake Factory.
We'll be hearing about a city later that has a couple of malls, but this I don't know for sure. Well, you know what? Let me bring up some more information about Fishers.
I spent a lot of time though in the bustling Midwestern metropolis of Peoria, Illinois. I was going to say that the immediate thing that this suggests to me is like a suburbia style, like bored, disaffected youth hanging out in parking lots sort of thing, which was a lot of my youth.
All right, so
I think that's true. I think, and a little bit of the haves and the have-nots, the rich kids and
the townies versus the rich kids. Does it help to tell you that the highest employer in the area in 2020, top employer was Hamilton Southeastern Schools? I guess the school district is the big employer. Number 10, U.S. Foods employs in 2020 employed 320 people. There's also the Geist Reservoir where you can fish and water ski. So is that where like the teens...
You can water ski?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, if the boat's fast enough, yeah.
If I don't know how to water ski, will I learn just by doing it there?
Unfortunately, no, I don't think so. But unless maybe it's a children's
like a
movie about a
situation
magical water skiing lake. I don't know.
I don't think you've seen Cocoon.
Cocoon's where Wilford Brimley learns to fucking water ski from alien pods, right?
Yeah, the alien pods are pulling him along the water. Yeah, and he's got two on his feet as the skis.
Yeah, so it's like you wouldn't believe how young I actually am in this movie.
I'm younger than Tom Cruise is in the Mission Impossible movies. Some of them. So, Fishers, Indiana.
He did his own stunts too. That's crazy.
So we're saying it's kind of a boring place that teens want to escape in the movie.
Hey,
but there might also be an alien lake.
How old was Don Amici?
Don Amici was significantly older than Wilford Brimley.
He was very old. I mean, he had been a movie star in the 40s. So, So, let's see. Don Amici, how old was he made at Cocoon? So, Don.
And his first name's Don, or is that a title?
You're right. It's possible that was his mafia name, or just as a Spanish landowner. No, his name is Dominic Felix Amici. So he was born in 1908. So when he did Cocoon, he was only 77. And
how old was Wilford Brimley?
Wilford Brimley at the time in 1985. Let's see, Wilford Brimley was 51 years old.
Guys, I hate to say it, but that's a pretty problematic age gap, right?
Yeah, and I mean, but in the love scenes, you wouldn't worry about it. I mean, that's the thing. That was when Wilford Brimley was like, he was getting a lot of controversy for appearing with men as the love interest who were much older than him.
Yeah,
because Wilford Brimley had he had a thing for older men. That's fine. Don Amici, of course, a lot of great movies. Anyway, we should do a Don Amici mini sometime. He was in a lot of great stuff. Anyway, so Fishers, Indiana, I think we've covered that pretty well. We know that it has to do with Cocoon and water skiing
named after
somehow.
Fisher Stevens.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's Fishers. Right. It doesn't have an apostrophe in the name, but I have to assume that it was originally Fishers, Indiana, like the Indiana that belonged to Fisher Stevens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move. We'll do two more before we take a quick break. Let's go to, now we're going down North Carolina way to number 5 on the list. This is Cary, North Carolina. Population 174,961, just shy of 175,000. You'll get there, Cary. If you want to hear some about it, it's got a humid subtropical climate. It's home to the world's largest
Some of those fucking humid places. Who likes humidity?
Some more humid stuff's coming up. It's home to the world's largest privately held software company. In 2021, it was named the safest mid-sized place to live in the United States. And the Cary drainage basin, it includes 3 creeks, the Crabtree, the Swift, and the Walnut. There's a Kellogg's factory there. There's a nonprofit that promotes the use of cotton in the area. And it also has the Sri Venkateswara Temple, which serves the Hindus of the Research Triangle section of North Carolina. It's home to the North Carolina Courage women's soccer team, and they have shot a number of movies there, including parts of Iron Man 3, and also a movie called Top Spin about people competing to be on the Olympic ping pong team. So, guys, Cary, North Carolina, what kind of movie character is it from what we've heard?
Well, as soon as you say it's like voted the safest place, it makes me think of like Rebel Ridge or something, where the local police department's skewing the numbers.
Okay, so
what?
Is this
The World's End or whatever, where aliens have come in and they're taking over.
Yeah, I could see aliens coming in to take over that software company, or perhaps the locus of the cotton lobbying that Cary, North Carolina is. Dan, what do you think? What is that? What comes to your mind? Either corrupt cops or aliens, or is there anything else that feels more Cary specific?
Man, was Alien Nation aliens and corrupt cops?
I don't think they were corrupt cops,
but they're drinking rotten milk.
Is that what corrupt cops do?
These cops are as rotten as the milk they drink to get drunk because they're aliens.
And it's spoiled milk, I know.
Oh, spoiled milk.
Write in and complain.
Yeah.
I
who has a hard time on the alienation planet? Barbers. Dan, you were saying?
No, I was just going to say that I totally zoned out on the description of this city because my brain was going to medical anxiety as it often does in spare moments.
Are you doing okay, Dan? Do we need to? Is that what this mini should be about?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so humid subtropical climate.
Yep. This is Fishers, Indiana.
No, we're talking Cary, North Carolina at this point.
Cary, North
Carolina.
Named after Harry Carey.
Named after Harry.
Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, both. It was named after both them, and Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Didn't even hit the most famous Carey.
Carrie Fisher.
The most famous?
Yeah.
Grant, I would say. Grant, right?
That is spelled like Cary Grant's name. So maybe Cary Grant's in the movie, or maybe
Carrie
AI.
Russell.
There's no Cary Russell. It's spelled and pronounced differently. So anyway, Cary, North Carolina. I feel like this is a wash. I feel like we didn't get it. We didn't get this one. Let's move on to if only North Carolina could get another bite at this apple. Oh, and it does, because number 7 on the list is Apex, North Carolina. Population.
That name is too cool.
Yeah, too cool. Its population 65,091. What's its climate like? You guessed it, humid. It's located pretty close to Cary, North Carolina. So maybe let's double for both. Apex's city motto is the peak of good living. It's got a historic train depot from the 19th century. In 2015, it was named the number 1 place to live by Money magazine. I guess they didn't care that in 2006 there was a chemical explosion at a waste processing facility that caused 16,000 people to evacuate. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt. Guess what? There's some famous residents of Apex, North Carolina. Do you want to hear about some of them?
Yeah.
Notable residents include Susan Higginbotham, the historical fiction author. There's also Justin Jetica, known as the human Ken doll for the numerous plastic surgeries that he's had in his life.
The lack of penis?
I have to assume.
Let's check it out.
And of course, Jason Alexander, the race car driver. Not from Seinfeld. He spells it differently. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld is, of course, from New Jersey.
Are they twin brothers?
No, they're not twin brothers. So Apex, North Carolina. From what you know, what kind of movie is Apex, North Carolina the character in? What does it feel like in this? What kind of character is this city in this movie? You know,
it's all based on the waste plant explosion.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a Toxie or something.
No, that's the direction you're going with it. I was like, is this going to be like a China Syndrome or like an Aaron Brockovich, like a kind of a drama about a company doing wrong and people uncovering it.
And what's the city like? What makes it Apex that this is happening in? How does the city? How is it personified?
That everybody's super competitive. That they're all perfect versions of human beings.
Yeah, the apex.
Okay. So only the best, most perfect people can live there. And
Yes.
so when
Yeah.
the chemical explosion happens, it's like, oh no, our best people are threatened by this. The city that has such high standards, suddenly what happens when it falls below those standards?
Yeah, maybe that's what's the insidious thing that's going on is that there's some sort of engineering out of like the lower persons, and that leads to this insidious company. Something goes wrong with them.
Then like a Toxie has to show up and beat up all these beautiful people.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's the ugliest among us is fighting the most beautiful among us. Which one's the hero? Toxie is, right?
Yeah, of course he is.
So, do you guys have any other ideas based on that for Cary, North Carolina? We didn't really come up with much for Cary.
I mean, are you trying to put a slate together, Elliott, of films? There's. I
Look,
think
the North Carolina Film Board has hired me to really get some movies going in the Research Triangle area of. Oh no, that's the Research Triangle area of North Carolina.
So I got a pitch for you.
Okay.
It's a slice of life comedy starring Carrie Elwes, Carrie Mulligan, Carrie Russell, and Jim Carrey.
Okay.
And they are all hanging out in Cary, North Carolina.
And what's it called?
Carrie.
Carry On.
It's called Carry On. Carry North
Carry
Carolina.
On 2, where the sequel to the airport movie.
Oh, you were going it that way. I was saying it was one of the famous
the old British Carry On comedies.
Yeah.
Those ones.
It's Carry On Carrie.
Well, maybe it's a mix of both. It's a comedy version of Carry On, the thriller, set in Cary, North Carolina, with all these Carries in it.
Oh, Carrion. Maybe there's some carrion involved.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wow.
Or the Spider-Man villain Carrion. Well, guys, I think we figured it out for those cities. Let's take a short break. I'll let your brains have a rest while I say a word about our sponsor today. Unless, Dan, do you want to do the sponsor spot today?
No, please.
Oh, I saw you get your phone, and I thought you were getting it to read the sponsor, but you're just checking your emails or whatever.
No, I'm getting. Excuse me, I'm getting it to promote Flop TV season 3 later on.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so let's talk about our sponsor today. Today's episode is sponsored by Factor. Look, guys, summer's here. It's summertime. My oldest son is at sleepaway camp. My younger son is at day camp. It's time for me to have the time to do the things I want to do that I can't do when my kids are around making me do stuff. And the number one thing that is taking up the time with those kids, cooking their meals. These kids are hungry all the time. They're constantly eating, yum, 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 yum. And I got to cook those meals for them. It is exhausting. Luckily, that's where Factor comes in. Guys, Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes. It takes the hassle out of eating well because you don't have to spend all that time cooking. And Factor meals are very popular in my house. Look, they arrive fresh and ready to eat. They're perfect for the active lifestyle that my kids have, where they're always running around and throwing things at each other and jumping on me and licking me for some reason. I don't love that part of it. There's 45 weekly menu options. You pick gourmet meals that fit your goals, your gains, your activity, or just your tastes. Just the stuff you like to eat. You get to pick it. And Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown, gives me and my kids the energy we need, gives my kids the energy they need to run around and slam into walls, and me the energy I need to help them after they get hurt from all the running around and jumping off of stuff. There's nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. And like I said, Factor is very popular in our house. Whenever we get Factor food, which is frequently, my kids enjoy it, which is not something I can say for a lot of pre-made meals because they're very picky. And my wife really loves them. And I often don't get to eat the Factor meals I want because my wife has already taken them to work with her for her lunches. It's the summer. She's not working. She works at a school. The summer, it's out. So I'm finally getting some of these Factor meals, and it's great. I have to work through the summer, and I often don't have a lot of time to make my own meals for lunch. So it's great to have something I can just pop in, heat up, eat it. It's wonderful. We're big fans of it in our house. Factor is our preferred food delivery service in our house. So if you want to live like a Kalen boy or a Kalen wife and have these easy to make, quick to make, delicious
marry
meals,
Elliott.
marry into my family. Get started at factormeals.com/flop50off. That's factormeals.com/flop50off and use code flop50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box of Factor meals. That's a great deal. 50% off.
Chop 50 off with flop 50 off. Huh?
Dan, what a great slogan. That's what we should be saying. Yeah, chop 50 off with flop 50 off. That's code flop50 off at factormeals.com/flop50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/flop50 off with code flop50 off for Factor Meals.
Flop 50 off.
You got it right, Stuart.
You did it.
Hey, I want to say a few words about Flop TV Season 3, which is a thing that's going to be coming up. It's going to be happening every first Saturday of the month from September through February. That's 6 episodes and our usual time slot of 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. And if I have my release schedule right, this should be releasing this mini on July 26th, which is when we're going to be putting the tickets on sale. Tickets will be live to buy
on July 26th.
Yeah, you go to theflophouse.simpletix.com. That's Tix, Tix, and you can get tickets there either $7 for an individual show if there's just one. If there's just one special movie that you
you just want to dip your toes in the water of Flop TV.
Or if you want to watch the whole season, you can get a season pass.
And I don't know why you wouldn't. Come on.
For $35. That's a discount. That's like one episode free, basically.
If you buy the season pass, it's like you're stealing one episode of Flop TV from us, and you're going to feel so good about that. Like you got one over on the Flop Boys.
Yeah,
fine.
Because you hate us.
Take them down a peg.
We think we're so cool. Yeah.
We're doing the theme this year is Flopsterpiece Theater. We're going back in time, decade by decade, picking one. I wouldn't say representative flop necessarily, although some of them are kind of representative of the times that they were made in. Just like one significant flop of that decade. It's gonna be The Adventures of Pluto Nash for the 2000s, Jack Frost with Michael Keaton for the 90s, for the 80s, Xanadu, the 70s, Zardoz, the 60s, Dr. Dolittle, the musical with Rex Harrison that sort of destroyed the big Hollywood musical for a while. And for the 50s, a biggie, Plan 9 from Outer Space, directed by Ed Wood. Yes, the same Ed Wood of the film of the same name. I mean, he wasn't actually in it, but it was about him.
It's about him, yeah. And it's I just rewatched it recently. It's a great movie.
Yeah, so again,
Ed Wood, that is. Plan 9 is a terrible movie.
Again, that's theflophouse.simpletix.com if you want to join us this season for Flop TV Season 3.
Hey, I'm Alan McLeod, the host of Walking About, and I'm here with Adam.
Hello.
You know, as a member of the month, you're the member of the month, you'll be getting a $25 gift card to the Maximum Fun store.
Holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
Thank you so much for supporting this show and the network.
Happy to do it.
What made you decide to become a member?
I just said, these people give me so much entertainment and joy and fun in my life. I gotta support them somehow. The outpouring of love and support that these folks, they made me Maximum Fun Member of the Month, for crying out loud. If you want this stuff to keep going, then support it.
Well, so nice to meet you, Adam.
Thank you very much, everybody. Keep up the good work. I mean it. I'm not just blowing smoke.
Become a Max Fun member now at MaximumFun.org/join.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to 101.1 Max Fun. It's midnight here on Host to Coast, and we've got Sarah from Michigan on line 1.
Hi, I'm calling in for some help. I used to love reading, but between grad school, having kids, and the general state of the world, I can't seem to pick up a book and stick with it anymore.
Sarah, this is an easy one. Just listen to Reading Glasses, a podcast designed to help you read better. Bria and Mallory will get all the pressure, shame, and guilt out of your reading life. You'll be finishing books you love in no time.
Great. That sounds amazing. Also, I do think my husband is cheating on me with Mothman. Can you help me with that one?
Ooh, I don't think they cover that. Reading Glasses, every Thursday on Maximum Fun.
Right now, we're coming back to this episode of The Map House. We've just got a couple more cities that we're going to look at real quick to see what we can do for them. So let's go to number 10 on that list of best places to live in the United States. And this is Troy, Michigan. Population 87,000, 452. Guys, let me tell you a little bit about Troy, Michigan that might help. It's the 13th largest municipality in Michigan. It's home to both the Somerset Collection Mall and the Oakland Mall, as well as Troy Historic Village, a historic village. It used to have a newspaper called the Troy Eccentric, but I don't think it's published anymore. You know who went to high school there? Sutton Foster and Stephen Ewan. Some big stars went to high school there. And movies shot in Troy include It Follows, You Don't Know Jack, starring Al Pacino as Jack Kevorkian, because as I've said before, the biggest shame you can have in America is to be portrayed by Al Pacino in a movie, whereas the greatest honor is to be portrayed by Tom Hanks in a movie. And also Whip It, the roller derby movie, and part of Dinner with Leatherface, a documentary about Gunnar Hansen, was shot in Troy, Michigan. So, guys, Troy, Michigan, it's already
Little
in the
Hollywood,
movies.
they call it.
Yeah, they call it the Hollywood of Michigan. So, guys, what is the character of Troy, Michigan, and what movie would really make the most of Troy, Michigan? Movies have been set there, shot there, but what's the movie that really presents the character of Troy, Michigan?
Now, would Troy, Michigan be described as urban, suburban, or rural?
Almost 88,000 people live there. I'm guessing it's more suburban than anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like urban, suburban, or ultra urban?
Yeah. It's a fucking Shadowrun arcology.
Yeah. It's all mega blocks. It's Mega City 1. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being influenced by like the wide variety of films shot there, but there's something about it that's saying quirky and eclectic to me. Like make it into like sort of a northern exposure, Sicily, Alaska style, town where something weird's always happening.
And I was thinking a classic suburban slasher movie.
I think you could do a little bit of both. I don't think I've seen a slasher in a city like that where it's like kind of a weird, quirky city. I mean, with a newspaper called The Eccentric, I feel like that brings in it's a weird, quirky town, and there's a slasher on the loose. If a slasher was loose in Sicily, Alaska, or Austin, Texas, or something like that, or Portland, Oregon. One of these cities that considers itself a weird city.
They tried to get rid of the slasher in Austin, but I was like, keep Austin weird, guys. We want that guy out there murdering people.
I mean, Leatherface is basically right. Austin slasher.
Yeah, it's like this is part of the Austin character. We've got to make this a historically preserved landmark slasher. Troy, Michigan.
He should be like some kind of like bat monster too, right? Because Austin's known for their bats.
Guys, we're not talking about Austin.
Bridge.
I feel like Austin, Texas has its movies and has its characters.
Yeah,
we don't need to give Austin any help, okay?
I got a text from Richard Linklater. He says, "Stay out of Austin.
Stay in Troy.
It's mine."
Okay, so Troy, Michigan. It is a quirky little town with a slasher running around in it. I like that for it. Okay, let's go to number 11 on this list. It's Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Population 116,677. So I think this is the biggest of the cities we're going to be talking about. It has a
pretty cool name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. It has a humid subtropical climate.
Fuck off with this humid shit.
And
I mean, every place is humid these days.
Yeah, apparently everyone wants to be humid. It's the largest suburb of Tulsa. They've got a FedEx ground office. They've got a Bass Pro Shop. They've got the Rema Bible Training Center.
Oh, pro.
You know what? And you know what? Went to high school. Yeah, it's not a Bass amateur shop.
Bass amateur
No, amateurs need not apply. Professionals only.
Now I need
when
one of
does
those
a bass
fucking
go
hats.
pro? It's like I've pretended to enough. I've worked hard to be a bass, and now
I think I've got what it takes to make real money off of being a bass. Yeah.
I was a smallmouth bass before, but now I think I'm a largemouth.
Yeah, I know all the words to that song that I have to sing when you push the button.
That's the
Take me to the river.
You know who went to high school there? Another Broadway legend, Kristen Chenoweth, went to high school in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Oh.
And movies shot in Broken Arrow include Tex with Matt Dillon, but neither of the two movies called Broken Arrow were shot or set in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
First off, that
It's a
sucks.
slap in the face to Broken Arrow.
Yeah, so guys, Broken Arrow, what's its character? What's the movie? Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a big-ass city, right?
It's pretty big. Yeah, it's a pretty big-ass city.
As
Yeah.
opposed to a big ass city, which is what we were talking
Rio
about
de
earlier.
Janeiro.
Yeah, in Miami. Yeah, of
And
course.
Miami,
Yeah. It's a big bass city, too. They've got that Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, Christ.
This is a big bass city. Maybe there's something in there. Now, I know that a fish ate Pittsburgh once, so
Yep, sure. Different city.
once.
Just once. Pittsburgh has all these great things so far, but a fish eats your city once. Something that's all they want to make a movie about.
Yeah. This is Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, you said?
Yes, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
I'm seeing like a modern Western in an urban environment. but with the kind of the Oklahoma Western feel.
And what is that Oklahoma Western feel?
Like tumbleweeds and shit.
So just any Western.
Yes.
So you're saying the city still has, this is a modern city of almost 120,000 people, and there's still tumbleweeds rolling through it.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it has the elements of a drifter coming into town
City.
and city, into this big city, and relatively simple lines of good and evil drawn. However, there's more to it, and I don't know.
So it's another city that has an underbelly.
Always an underbelly, yeah.
Similar to the first city we talked about, Johns Creek, Georgia. So Broken Arrow, Oklahoma also has an underbelly to it. Dan, what do you think?
I'm trying to think about, what I know about Oklahoma. I've been there, and I remember when I was a child, I was there, and my impression was that it was very flat. And this is as a man who comes from Illinois, central Illinois. So that's saying something. I know that my dad is from Oklahoma. He's an Okie. So
okay, is he from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, or?
No, he's from closer to where Killers of the Flower Moon actually happened.
Was he one of the killers of the Flower Moon?
No, he was not. He was not. He was a child. It was after that happened, but
children can be killers.
That's
Dan,
true.
we've all seen The Bad Seed and Problem Child.
It's true, but I guess I would say that I guess it should be a fictionalized biopic about my dad.
yeah,
set in a city he didn't live in. Okay,
Yeah,
I like it. That sounds good. Yeah, sure. Dads of the Flower Moon.
Really highlights where he went wrong,
Yeah, Fathers of the Flower Moon. Or Killers of the Father Moon. Yeah, where did your dad go wrong, Dan?
Like many men of his generation, he probably could have done with some therapy, just like emotional training. But he's a good guy.
He seems overall like a good guy. I mean, your parents have always struck me as good people. So I don't know why you're making them the monsters who killed the Flower Moon.
You asked. They're great.
I asked, but you answered, Dan. It takes two to ask a question, one to ask and one to answer.
Yeah.
How did, but then if there's such good people, how did you guys end up like this?
Okay, again.
Moving on to the next city in the list. Let's go to number 13. That's Ellicott City, Maryland. Population 77,336. Yes, I picked this one because it sounds like my name. It's spelled with 2 L's and 2 T's the proper way. Now, what kind of climate do you want to guess Ellicott City has?
Dude, it's fucking humid.
You bet it's humid. It's humid subtropical climate. There's sporadic snowfall in the winter, but usually relatively light. It's a suburb of Baltimore. It's called the heart and soul of Maryland because it's right in the center there, I think. It once housed a fairy tale themed amusement park called the Enchanted Forest. It's since closed. It's also home to the oldest surviving railroad station in America. This is where the famous race took place in 1830 between the steam engine Tom Thumb and a horse, where technically the steam engine lost because it broke down, but it showed people that steam power will be a thing to reckon with in the railroad industry. The armies passed through here several times during the Civil War, but I don't think they ever fought here. Notable residents, according to Wikipedia, include Devine and Edward Snowden. And there have been some movies. 2 peas in a pod.
The span of humanity.
What do they talk about?
Yeah, I assume they were roommates at some point. Yeah.
Buddy comedy.
Movies shot in Ellicott City include The Goddess, Crybaby, and the Blair Witch Project, part of it. So, I feel like we're already backing into a movie where it's Devine and Edward Snowden together in some way. But what is the character of Ellicott City?
I'm thinking of the character of Ellicott is sort of like a fast talking, know it all. Kind of a pain in the ass sometimes.
Interesting. I wonder what this is based
family man, sort of
always too busy for things, very stressed out. Yeah, losing his hair.
I think this is where my friend lives. I think my friend lives in Frederick, Maryland, which I think is a suburb of Ellicott. And this is where I drove down to play Warhammer with him, and my fucking car broke down, and I got stuck there for a couple extra days.
You know the character firsthand.
I know the character firsthand.
Place where cars break down.
I will say,
so
I was not able to get my car
situation.
fixed on a Sunday because all the mechanics were closed. So there's something terrifying about that.
Yeah, so it's a religious place, maybe a little cultish, potentially.
It's the town that dreaded Sundays.
Sundays?
So Stuart, let's build off. So it's the kind of town where your car might break down, but you might get stuck there for a little bit. Now, is it scary, or you get caught in a kind of paranoid thriller of Edward Snowden conspiratorial stuff, or is it that you get stuck there and you learn something new about your life from Divine and the other,
I think
quirky, loud, and
I
proud people
learned
there?
something about my life. I also was like, I didn't bring enough clothes to stay here a couple extra days, and I can wash my underwear in the sink.
So you learned to bring more clothes. Is what you
So
learned.
I had to walk around. It was really
valuable
hard to
lesson.
find. There's really few. The hotel I was in was near shopping, like a shopping center, but there's very few menswear stores, which was frustrating.
Okay, so Ellicott. So the city that might have been Ellicott that you got.
I think it was.
That you got stuck in. Hard to get men's clothes there. It would explain. I mean, it's an interesting origin for Divine's personal style. It's hard to buy men's clothes there. Okay, guys. So I think we haven't really figured out Ellicott completely. But Dan, I like the way you were. Something about the way you were describing it made it sound really cool and sexy. Yeah, I don't know why. It really appealed to me. This fast talking, annoying workaholic city.
I think this is an example of my firsthand experience is actually a detriment because it limits my imagination.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes it's better to be not bound
to be a
by what you've
fantasy.
experienced. Yeah. So.
I don't like
we've got-
the way Dan smiles when he says fantasy.
I don't either. So there's one
It's
city
like
left.
how George R. R. Martin smiles when he says fantasy.
Well, Dan is the author of several best-selling novels that will never be finished. Sure. So,
They're not going to be finished?
I mean, get George on the job. He's not doesn't seem that intent on doing it, but
But I put
okay.
so much. I've read all these books and he's finish them.
I mean, maybe he will. Maybe he'll hire somebody else to finish them someday. It's okay. Maybe you, Stuart.
That would be amazing. There would all of a sudden be some really cool characters introduced that look a lot like me.
Yeah.
And I would be, and all the babes would be like, he's the best. And all the
Oh.
dudes are like, he's scary and tough and cool. And I'd be like,
Look at
hell
you
yes,
love a
Stuart
Mary
is
Sue.
cool.
Yeah. And what's the title of this concluding Game of Thrones volume that you're gonna, or Song of Ice and Fire volume that you're gonna write? Yeah.
Fire of Stews.
What?
Okay. A pot of stews. Let's call it that. So this last one city we're going to talk about, this is number 31 on this list. Again, there's 250 cities on this list. We couldn't cover them all. Maybe you know what? Next year, maybe we'll set some incredibly high pledge goal. And if we reach it, we'll talk about all 250 cities on
God.
this list. But it would have to be that we'd have to get like 30,000 new and upgrading subscribers, or 50,000.
And then we'll just live stream us going through all of them
Going
constantly.
crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, question. So, this is city number 31, West Des Moines, Iowa. Not to be confused with Des Moines, Iowa. This is
Or East
population,
Des Moines.
or East Des Moines. That's true. Or north or south. Population 71,794. Climate, you guessed it, humid continental.
Fucking A.
In 1915, a major auto race was held here, and a couple people were killed accidentally during the race. Until 1937, though, it was called Valley Junction. But voters changed the name to West Des Moines because they thought it sounded more prestigious and glamorous. West Des Moines. They wanted all the glamour of Des Moines, Iowa. So Microsoft has a number of data centers there, including one of the locations where ChatGPT was trained. So it is evil.
Yeah.
And I don't know what movies were shot there because when I tried to research it, I kept getting movies that were shot in regular Des Moines and not
Yeah.
West Des Moines. Again, it's a different place than Des Moines. So, guys, what is the character of West Des Moines, and what kind of story are we telling about it to bring out that character?
Evil AI. You already touched it.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I mean, the fact that you couldn't find anything for West Des Moines because of Des Moines, I was always thinking, like overshadowed, feeling like unappreciated, sort
Yeah,
of.
the kind
So
of
they
thing that
have
would
to
lead them to
invent an
create an evil
AI.
AI. Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take the revenge.
So West Des Moines is always living in the shadow of regular Des Moines. It's the little brother of the two. Yeah. And so it's a place full of resentment, seething with resentment. If you live in West Des Moines, please write in and let me know if the city seethes with resentment
Yeah,
and knows
it's like,
that it's taking part in evil.
It's like I went to school with this kid who was from Youngstown, Ohio, and he would always talk
Oh,
about
my
how
parents used to live
Youngstown,
there.
Ohio was like really dangerous and tough, and it had a really big murder rate.
It did.
And he was like, when he was a kid, he was like, the murder rate was so high, they called it Little Chicago until Youngstown's murder rate exceeded Chicago's, and they started calling Chicago Big Youngstown. And I'm like, I do not think they
Yeah, that
ever
last
did
part
that.
never happened.
Nobody has ever called it that. I mean,
rest
in
of it,
Youngstown, I guess.
From
You go
what
to
I
Big
understand,
Youngstown.
is accurate. But
So, guys, I think we figured out a lot of these cities. Again, to repeat, what we decided, Johns Creek, Georgia, #1 greatest place to live in the U.S. according to U.S. News and World Report. That is going to be a seedy
Too
underbelly
humid for me. Sorry.
or romantic comedy. Fishers, Indiana, #4 on the list. We didn't really. What did we come up with for Fishers? Fisher
like
Stevens.
Fisher Stevens hangs out there.
Yeah, I
and
guess so.
Goes fishing.
Slice of life. I think that was slice of life teens trying to escape. Yeah. Then there's #5 and #7, Cary, North Carolina, and Apex, North Carolina. Cary is full of Carys, and Apex was the place where Toxie is fighting off the people made too beautiful. Then Troy, Michigan. We talked about it's a quirky little town, little city that's also got a slasher. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is kind of a modern day Western with moral boundaries being crossed, and professional bass and tumbleweeds and professional bass. Ellicott City, Maryland is basically me, but a city. And Divine is there, hard to buy men's clothes. And West Des Moines, Iowa is, of course, resentful about the shadow cast by Big Des Moines. So if you live in any of these... Yeah, if you live in any of the cities, tell us how good we did. Did we accurately describe your city? Is that the kind of movie you want to see about the place you live? I would love to hear about it. Just write to Elliott Kalin, care of Dan McCoy, real address TBD. Dan, just include your real address later on.
Will do.
And we will be happy to find out how right or wrong we were. That is, of course, this episode of The Map House, a subsidiary podcast of The Flop House. Hollywood, there you have it. You got a whole slew of new city characters to start setting movies in, courtesy of me, Elliott Kalin, and my cohorts, Dan McCoy and Stuart Wellington. I'd like to, of course, thank Alex Smith, our producer. He goes under the name Howell Doughty when he's recording music and magic online. The music is magical, and the magic is musical. He doesn't actually do magic, but he's a really talented musician. We are a podcast of the Max Fun Network. Please try the other Max Fun shows if you like silliness and information about cities maybe you never thought about before. Until next time, this has been the Map House. Join us next week for the regular Flop House. Goodbye and good locating to you.
Bye.
Actually, I should have said place be with you.
Maximum Fun
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
directly
by you.